tried to RuneScape Classic, it was good to me. Finished every quest it had, easy as 1, 2, 3. 22 full years of questing to make some deaths forevermore. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2004. Welcome back to November 17th, 2004. I'm just going to pop into the lighthouse here, head downstairs, to show a place that we are not going to be going today. Last time, we fought the Dagannoth Mother here, and a regular Dagannoth. But we are not going to be fighting all the other Dagannoth, because there's a lot. Multi-combat. Not ideal. Which is unfortunate, because pretty much everywhere is multi-combat. Multi-combat with aggressive dozens of enemies, though. Not what we need right now. Not what we need. But what we do need is something to fight. Because we want to train ranged right now. After the magic short bow did not perform very well against the Dagannoth Mother because of its incredible defense, we need to find other targets that are more appropriate, where it can really shine. If this was still 2004, the magic short bow and rune arrows would just absolutely obliterate nearly every single thing in the entire game, because it's really, really good. Unfortunately for us, the evolution of combat in 2012, the sweeping stat changes in 2023, and all sorts of various other developments really have made things more difficult for us. Some fantastic options are no longer quite so fantastic. So I've had to look around for various, at least acceptable, training methods. All assuming that we don't use too many rune arrows. One option was black unicorns, because they are now magic-based. We have 100% accuracy, and that's really what we want here. But they also don't really drop anything of note, besides, like, a unicorn horn. And the best spot to fight them would be out in the wilderness, so it's definitely a maybe. They have some health. More health the better, too, because that'll mean we don't need to constantly be switching opponents. One spot that would have been very, very good would have been rock crabs. Famous for their low defense. Not anymore. We have a whopping 50% chance to hit here. That's no good. That's no good at all. With the combat changes in 2023, all experience is back to being damage-based. So, do the same amount of damage anywhere, you get the same amount of XP. So, 100% accuracy. Highly, highly favorable. And also, multi-target attacks, once that's actually a thing we can do. But for now, we're going to be looking at some other options. The main problem is really the typing disadvantages. The evolution of combat is pretty strict about what is or isn't good. Magic, melee, ranged, combat triangle, heavily enforced. And unfortunately, there's really not a lot of magic enemies. We got like black unicorns, dark wizards, and then like lesser demons. But especially with our green D'hide armor, just only level 40, lesser demons probably still a bit too dangerous. And then we have some ranged enemies that exist. Again, very, very few. The most interesting of which would be poison scorpions, which, again, not very valuable to fight poison scorpions. They literally don't drop anything. So one potential idea is moss giants. Only problem is going to be trying to get safe spots working. We have 81% accuracy here, so that's decent. Obviously not perfect, so we could do better. They drop bones and coins and stuff. The benefit of moss giants would definitely be their drops. I don't know if it's really super worth it if we're just going to be getting 81% of the experience. The main goal here is definitely just getting ranged XP. Eventually, we'll have better accuracy, ever so slightly, by getting more range levels. There's no range prayers yet, so that's not an option. 81% is still pretty good, though. Other options like fire giants aren't really options, because they have even higher defense. So that's not going to work either, I don't think. We're going to go see the poison scorpions. It's definitely it's an option. Maybe not a good one, because again, poison. But since they have range attacks, we wouldn't need to worry about trying to safe spot. And our armor would do slightly better. They're not exactly strong or anything. But that is another thing we need to really consider, is how much health things have. Because if we're just constantly one-shotting, we're not going to be getting maximum experience or anything. And also need to consider the number of enemies that are spawning. Because if there's only like one monster, it's not going to go very well for training purposes. And this is all assuming we can get better experience than just hanging out at the ranging guild. At least it's probably going to be cheaper. Although we are going to be using the arrows that we get from the ranging guild. So, we will see. We will see. Yeah, I really do want 100% accuracy. And then there's also the situation of having to constantly pick up all the arrows off the ground. There's also moss giants here. Maybe just do those. Really does come down to all the everything, basically. Poison scorpion. 97% accuracy. Okay. That's still pretty good. They're at 70 XP each. And we're just gonna get hit some. Safe spotting would definitely be preferable, obviously. Constantly need to pick up the arrows. It's a very busy area here too with all the trees. I don't know. Also might attack with melee when we get a melee distance, which isn't too helpful. We'd have potentially less defense to that. 97%? That's pretty good. I just don't really like fighting these in. Let's see if we can find a good safe spot over on Moss Giant Island here. We got trees and stuff. We'll probably manage. Just need to get spacing. That's something. 81%? Yeah, see, whenever we miss, that's just experience that we don't get. And they're a little spaced out here too. The arrows are going to be flying all over the place. That's not a perfect safe spot either. Yeah, the accuracy is just not quite there. The fact that we can get 100% accuracy is interesting. But yeah, that's not working quite right. I'll take the bones and coins and stuff. And my arrows. Alright, so this... Not feeling it, really. Not really feeling the poison scorpions either. Let's get out of here. What other options do we have? Black unicorns in the wilderness, I guess. Other melee enemies are going to have too high defense. We're going to have even less accuracy. Decisions. Well, there is 76 Constitution here at the Wilderness Black Unicorns. There's a good number of them. They just don't have a lot of health is the next problem here. That was just a one-shot. Maybe. No, I don't think it would have been. You can probably get a one-shot if we use the special attack here. 76 Constitution. That is a quest requirement. Wild. Yeah, let's do a special attack. Yeah, we can definitely one-shot with the special attack. Which is not ideal, really. We also need to be slightly concerned that we take damage for fighting a magic or range guy. Because that will just get us to a situation where you need to go get food. There's just really not a lot of fantastic options here. We could definitely do quite a bit better if we had even better armor. That would definitely help. You know, running around constantly. I mean, we really will need to run around constantly, picking up all the arrows. Honestly, this might be... Oh, there's unicorn foals here too. That's why we one-shot. So there's less unicorns here than I thought there was. Still mostly the adult unicorns, at least. But yeah, something with more health would definitely be better. I mean, I guess we can try lesser demons. We can get lobsters on Kramja. That's a maybe. Might as well give it a shot. Down in the Kramja volcano here. Technically, we have two spots where we could fight the lesser demons. I'm gonna go to the one up here, through the wall heading towards Corendor. Lesser demon, 72% accuracy. Yeah, that's just not quite enough. This would be even worse. And they do damage. We're really doing... I mean, we could probably just... Wasn't the scorpion like 90% or something? Really gonna do black unicorns? Seems like a reasonable choice here, unfortunately. I'll think about it and I will decide where to train here. Here's another spot with potential. Poison scorpions, but this time in the Tamperley dungeon. Unfortunately, we got poisoned here. See how much damage that does. This is significantly further away from anywhere we can get food. We have to run through the dungeon. The poison is definitely doing damage here. We could buy some anti-poisons. Go pick up some anti-poisons. Might run slightly into slowing things down here. There's 5 spawns here, 7 spawns in Brimhaven, but less junk all over the ground here. Looks like we could potentially get away with it. We could even turn on, like, the defensive prayer. Use that slightly. Yeah, the poison's not being a good time here. The damage is just a little too high. Don't want to take a bunch of damage. Okay. This could be the one. Over here, at the Grave of Scorpius, we've got Monks of Zamorak. I shoot them. 100% accuracy. They have much health. This is a win. They don't drop anything besides their robes. That's not interesting. Just need to pick up the rune arrows after every single fight here. Hit a 291. That's pretty good. So yeah, this will allow us to get more out of each shot here, since they can take more damage. And there's plenty of Monks of Zamorak here. So this should be just exactly what we want. Also, you might have noticed this big shark that we got while fishing. That is still like 1 in 5,000 or something. So, yeah. I bet once we can actually do something with these big sharks, we'll never get another one again. That's okay. Don't know if we'll use sharks for food here. They definitely heal a lot more. It's just up at the fishing guild, so. Either way, this is the best spot. 63 ranged. That is nothing. Despite the high number of spawns here, we are needing to hop worlds when we kill them all. We're just too strong, even with just the magic short bow here. Finally, it's doing a good job. And this is also very solid XP per hour. Much, much better than the ranging guild. We are going through the rune arrows though, so we will likely need to return. That's okay. 64 ranged. That is a quest requirement. And there is 65 ranged. We're over here because of reasons. But first, the unlocks. 3rd Age range equipment. Elder Shieldbow sighted. And Salt the Wound. Not going to have any of those. Probably even when they do exist. And they don't. Just yet. Oh, rune arrow on the ground. Would like to keep that. Originally, I was going to have this clip happen in Birthorpe. But there's no enemies that are supposed to be in Birthorpe anymore. With the entire gigantic changes to the Taverley Birthorpe area. But anyways, we're heading over there. Managed to close the gate on ourselves. Brilliant. Head over to Birthorpe for updates. Because that is where the next update is going to happen. Just makes sense to be over there. It really is just an entirely different place with this changes. Everything's still basically here though, so we make do. We make do. Alright. Up here counts as Birthorpe, probably. It's all really just a combined 2 towns. That's okay. Anyways. Right over here, we can get to it. On November 24th, 2004, 5 new worlds. One is on the above.net system, which is a now defunct high bandwidth telecommunication company. Why exactly it was on a website instead of the location, it's hard to say. But presumably that's somewhere. And the other 4 are Amsterdam worlds. So, there you go. And now, what is actually an update here? There is a whole new place here in Birthorpe. Specifically, the Birthorpe Games Rooms. We can head down here, and later we get a global world for playing with everyone. There's probably still going to be 0 people there. That's okay. In here, you can play RuneLink, which is basically Connect 4, and also Draughts. Later on, there will be more games added, but very, very much not a thing most people do. See if we can find some games here. We will not. We will not. And to help people come over here to the games room, there's a new necklace. The Games Necklace. Made out of sapphire necklace, enchanted. Teleports you over to the games room. It's pretty convenient. And also a fantastic way to get to Birthorpe here. Unfortunately, that would require going and getting a sapphire and a gold and a cosmic rune. And that entire process is not ideal. There is situations where we will want teleportation jewelry that could potentially be worth getting, but not for the most part. And one knock-on effect of having a teleport to Birthorpe is the Fountain of Heroes in the Heroes Guild got moved underground since it was a little bit too close, just upstairs. Not that it's a huge deal, and not that we can do anything with the Fountain of Heroes yet anyways, so that's fine. Instead, we will just get on with it with the actual update, where we can do something here. On November 29th, 2004, the next quest, Throne of Miscellanea, requires the Fremnik Trials and Heroes quest. Also, no combat, so we can use as little space as we need with the shark still here. Required items. Got a list here. Need an iron bar, any kind of log, a tradable, non-enchanted metal ring, flowers, a cake, or a bow, and also some kind of tool. And the axe will work perfectly fine. So we need a few different things here. We could potentially hand over the magic short bow, but that'd be a little expensive and unnecessary. We can get a slightly cheaper bow. The main thing that's going to be difficult here is, I guess, the ring. That's a couple extra steps. But making an iron bar is also fine. We can accomplish this. Just mine an iron ore, smelt it, I'll be fine. Go mine a gold, pick up a ring mold, just make a regular gold ring. The flowers is an interesting situation, but we will be able to get that during the quest, so that's okay. So let's go get everything we need and head on over towards where the quest starts. Pickaxe from Lumbridge, log from Lumbridge, gold ore from Alcarid, ring mold from Alcarid, iron ore from Falador, bow from Varrock, furnaces, all over the place. But here we have enough things. To start the quest, we actually need to get to where it is at. And since it requires Fremnik Trials here, we start from here. Making our first trip from the port here. Traveling to Miscellanea. Let's talk to the sailor here. Hello, can I get a ride on your ship? Hello again, brother Rakir. If you're ready to jump aboard, we're all ready to set sail with the tide. Let's go. They didn't particularly tell us where we're going, but it is in fact the island of Miscellanea, and etc. Starting with Miscellanea. Then we got a few interesting things here. Got some fields, some maple trees, all sorts of good islandy stuff. It's very cold on the northern side of the island here. Ah, biomes. Even considering that, these islands are considered small anyways. We got some coal here. We got some penguins. Wild stuff. Let's get into the castle here, where we can find a thriving market here. Got fish stalls, veg stalls, all sorts of fun stuff. And the flower girl. Hello. Good day. What are you doing? I'm selling flowers. 15 GPU for 3. Would you like some? Yes, please. Thank you. Here you go. And there's the flowers we needed. Perfect. Barging into the castle here. Heading upstairs. Where we want to go talk to the king. Open large door here. And here is the throne room door, which has some guards. Halt! Who goes there? My name is Regent. Will you not let me through? I'm afraid the king won't give an audience to anyone except a worthy hero. I'm a member of the Heroes Guild. Does that not show my worth? Then you may pass. A worthy hero indeed, being in the Heroes Guild. Also in the Legends Guild. Kind of underselling myself here. Here is King Vargas. He is in no state to rule the kingdom, clearly. We'll worry about that. Here. Who are you? Who seeks audience with the king of this fair land of Miscellanea? I am known in these lands as Rakir, your majesty. I come in search of a quest. Ah, it pleases me to see such enthusiasm. I was once an adventurer, such as yourself. Even while fulfilling my duties as king of Miscellanea, I would roam the lands in search of adventure, and strike down mighty foes with a single blow. Unfortunately, I was a little too daring, and attempted to brave the Icelands, where I finally met my match. I survived. Barely. But I was cursed for the rest of my life to stay in this form, which leaves me incapable of performing my duties as ruler. This is why I am looking for an exceptional soul to be my regent of this fair kingdom of Miscellanea. And we will accept this quest. If I may be so bold, your majesty, I think Miscellanea would rest in capable hands with me. Ah ha ha, you are bold, Rakir. But then, I have yet to see a good ruler who was not. You will first have to demonstrate your worth. You are a good warrior, that I do not doubt. However, ruling also requires a good grasp of diplomacy. We've been at war with neighboring Exeteria for hundreds of years. However, I think both of us have rather lost our appetite for hostilities. Now may be an opportune time to make amends. If you manage to negotiate peace with them, then you will truly have shown your skill as a diplomat. They do not stray far, your majesty, for I shall soon return. Wait, there is one more matter to discuss. A mere formality, of course. By miscellaneous tradition, one may not become ruler of the kingdom if one is not part of the royal family. You will have to convince either my daughter, Princess Astrid, or my son, Prince Brand, to marry you. And you say this is a mere formality, your majesty? I'm sure they won't be able to resist your heroic charms. You can ask Grimm for advice. That's what he's here for, after all. Advisor Grimm. And there is Princess Astrid and Prince Brand. The quest was slightly changed to allow you to marry either of them in 2019. Does not change the story or anything, so all works out. We're just gonna be going with the princess because we brought the bow with us. That's one we needed for that. All planned. All planned. So we've got two things we need to do here. We need to restore peace, and convince someone to marry us. It's a tall order indeed. So we'll get some advice from the advisor. Greetings, sir. How do I make peace with Exeteria? You should go talk to Queen Sigrid of Exeteria. That'd be a good start. The Queen of the other island. As small as the islands are. Very much a kingdom of, like, a castle and a few buildings. Not the largest places, these islands. But still, we need to run across them. Very much a situation where you could run out of run energy and it'd be annoying walking back and forth. But 57 agility and current year run restoration does pretty good. Over here in Exeteria, they've got a few other things. As much as there are resources and stuff here, we can't actually make use of them because they are the kingdoms. For whatever reason, we respect their authority to their land, where we don't do that anywhere else. Here is Queen Sigrid here. Hello. Hello, Your Majesty. Have you come for a particular reason? I'm a busy queen, you know. I had to attend the opening of a new orphanage this morning. Yes, and this afternoon, I shall be receiving the ambassador of Karamja and accompanying him on his week-long tour of Exeteria. Then this evening, we shall be putting on a grand ball. All of the kingdom's nobility will be present. Oh, who am I kidding? Nothing ever happens here. I always wanted to be a princess when I was a girl. If I'd been told it would be like this, I wouldn't have bothered. Your Majesty. Yes, did you want something? I have been sent by King Vargas to negotiate a treaty of peace between your two great nations. Great nations? Don't make me laugh. Still, peace sounds like a nice idea. He will, of course, have to recognize Exeteria officially as a sovereign nation. That isn't already the case? I'm afraid not. Last time we met, I called him a pompous old fool for thinking he was still worth anything as an adventurer. He promptly declared war, claiming the land of Exeteria belonged to Miscellanea. When he realized neither of us have an army, he was ever so angry. What happened then? He set off for the Icelands to prove me wrong, and, well, I expect you saw what happened to him. I shall go ask him to officially recognize Exeteria. A lot of this quest could be shortened by just having the Queen have a royal visit over to the King here. Save us running back and forth constantly. Well, that's okay. That's okay. So, they need to recognize the sovereignty of Exeteria. Should be doable. Sounds like a royal decree and we're laughing here. Should work out just fine. We should use up quite a bit of run energy here. Running back and forth. Probably mostly because of all the things we have in our inventory. That's okay. King Vargas, Your Majesty. How are you getting on, Rekir? Have you talked to Queen Sigrid of Exeteria? I have, Your Majesty. She says she will agree to peace as long as Miscellanea recognizes Exeteria as a sovereign nation. Humph. You can tell her I'll officially recognize her country as soon as she changes the Exeterian national anthem. Why is that, Your Majesty? It's insulting. The title alone, You're Stupid, We're the Best, should be enough to give you an idea. I'm sure I can convince her there are better anthems. And now, we run back. Oh boy. Lots of this. Lots of this. I've run out of things to say about these two tiny islands, so we're just going to be over there now. I guess one thing to note is the differences here on this island. There's no farming stuff yet, because there's no farming. And no special trees, because those don't exist either. There is a bank, though, which is obviously not important for us. Well, that's okay. So let's get this anthem fixed here. Hey, Queenie. Hello, have you talked to Vargas yet? I have, Your Majesty. He says he will recognize the country when you change your anthem. What? That's a great anthem. I composed it myself. Listen. You're stupid, we're the best, etc. beats the rest. And Queen Sigrid is very pretty, King Vargas is a fool, hey nani nani. I'm afraid he insists, Your Majesty. Well, it can't be helped, I suppose. You have to find a bard to write a new one, though, and there isn't a bard to be had for love nor money in etc. I'll see what I can do, Your Majesty. And now we need to find a bard, which is nowhere to be found in this entire kingdom of a castle and a bank. It's not large. So we head back again. There's definitely more people in Miscellanea. And if we're looking for a bard, how about the guy that has, like, a harp and a lyre? Prince Brand, how you doing? I need someone to compose a new anthem for etc. You've come to the right bard. I'll write one for you immediately. You can take your time, really. No problem, I'm already done. Here, listen. etc. Oh, what a great country it is. etc. So I wrote a song about it. It's somewhere in the sea, and it looks very nice. If it weren't for your ancestors, it wouldn't be there at all. And when things aren't going too well, we sing this lovely song, and then we'll all feel so much better, it won't take very long. Here's a copy, you can keep it. That's lovely, thanks. Don't mention it, sir. Awful anthem. It's not very good. Brilliant. Well, he tries, I guess. Back to the advisor. I got Prince Brand to compose a new etc. anthem for me, but it's awful. Oh dear. Well, that is only to be expected. May I see it, please? Here you go. Yes. Allow me to make a few adjustments. There you go, sir. Are there any other matters in which I may be of assistance? Not currently. Not currently. And now it is a good anthem. Much better. Bring this back to the Queen. You know what that means. Running across the islands again. Hopefully this is to her liking. Hello, have you found a new anthem yet? Yes, Your Majesty. Let's see now. etc. Of our country we are proud. etc. Let all sing its name out loud. Rising high above the water, the jewel of the north, our mothers and our fathers, to build this land came forth. And in times of darkness, sing praises of our land, and in our hearts we can be sure our victory is at hand. Why, this is quite good. I'm surprised. Here is a treaty declaring what we've mutually agreed to. I've already signed, so all you need is King Vargas's signature, and it'll be official. Very good. A treaty. Just needs the king's signature. Should be very easy to do that. Just need to go see the king. Across the islands. Again. King Vargas, Your Majesty. How are you getting on, Rakir? Have you convinced Sigrid yet? I have a treaty awaiting your signature. I doubt I'll be able to hold an ordinary pen well enough to sign the treaty. You'll have to find a pen large enough for me to hold. Okay. New objective. Big pen. Advisor Grimm. Any plans? What am I to be doing? Again. Negotiating peace with etc. Big pen. Big pen. We need 2 pieces to make a very big pen. The ink holding part and the handily part. And we're going to want to go pretty large with this plan. He's got very large Yeti hands. That's what the entire log and iron bar are for here. I'm going to talk to Derek. Good day, sir. Can I help you with anything? I have a slightly strange request. The king needs to sign a treaty, but is unable to because he lacks a pen large enough for him to hold. Could you make a nib of the right size? I may be able to manage that. What sort of size? About the size of a helm should do it. Alright, but I'll need an iron bar to make it from. I have one here. Good, just a minute. Here you go. One giant pen nib. And pop that on an entire log to make a giant pen. Crude, but effective. King should be able to use this. Assuming he has like a supply of ink or something, because we do not supply the ink here. Maybe it's a kind of that carbon impression kind of paper for the contract. Just needs to poke it with the pen. Probably not, though. They'll figure it out. Your Majesty. How are you getting on, Rakir? Have you found me a pen yet? Here it is, Your Majesty. Excellent. And now with a flourish, I sign the end of the rivalry between our two proud kingdoms. Now, has either of my children agreed to marry you? Not yet, Your Majesty. Well, keep at it then. Grimm tells me that the population is not very supportive of the idea of having you as a ruler. You should try to gain their support. So, we had considered the peace problem and the marriage problem. But there's also the everyone is unimpressed with me problem. So we need to go and gain some reputation here. We get our approval rating here. What do the people think of me around here? You haven't really won the hearts of the locals, if you see what I mean. At the last poll, only 25% of the population liked you. Oh. Talk to Garner. Gunhild here. Hello. How about you? Good day. What are you doing? I'm weeding this herb garden. It's hard work. I also sell a few gardening supplies. What do you have for sale? At the moment, I'm selling garden rakes and iron sickles. They're 15 GP each. Would you like one? I'd like an iron sickle, please. Thank you. Here you go. Iron sickle. Go back through the dialogue again here. We can ask about the sickle. What are iron sickles for? I can't think of anything just now, but you can buy one if you like. The iron sickle is a holdover from before. Originally, it was actually usable to rake the patch here. But once farming exists, rakes are actually used to rake. So, rakes don't exist yet. So we can't actually rake this. So instead, we will come over here and help Lumberjack Leaf chop down maple logs. Instead of getting any logs, we just hand them over to the lumberjack. We also get very, very close to 0 experience for doing anything on these islands. Well, any of the collecting things for reputation things. So basically, we sit here for probably a while, chopping maple logs. Well, that should be fine. We do have 92 woodcutting. But we need to get that reputation up. Very important. Very necessary. 1 experience. Alright, there's like 77% approval. It's probably fine. Close enough. We could get to 100%, but there is no reason for us to do that, as we will figure out. Anyways, that is, everyone likes us now. Or, super majority of people like us, at least. And that's good enough. That's good enough. So now we just have one more thing to do. And that is talk to Princess Astrid here. And there. Good day, sir. Good day, Your Royal Highness. Do you wish to try and earn the hand of Princess Astrid in marriage? Once made, this decision cannot be changed. Yep. As I'm sure you are aware, your father, the king, is seeking someone to rule the kingdom in his stead. I put myself forward, but in order for me to become ruler, you have to marry someone in the royal family, namely me. Yes, Your Royal Highness. You realize, I hope, that I have many admirers. I take it you are not especially fond of any of them? That is true. However, I am willing to give you a chance. If you impress me enough, I will consider accepting to marry you. Fair enough. So, start off this relationship by having conversations. A fantastic point to start with. So you practice archery. So you have a bow mounted on your wall. Yep, there's a bow cabinet, landscape painting. Get information we can here. Yes, my father thinks it is a cowardly art, but I find there is just as much courage and more skill involved in going into combat with just a bow and quiver. What do you think? We are absolutely on team archery right now. So we're going to go with archery is a noble art. And all through these conversations, there's also going to be absolutely insane things we could say, which would not help us in the slightest. This time it's, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Very, very helpful information to bring out here. Archery is a noble art. I'm so glad you agree. So tell me about all these other admirers you have. They never cease to bother me. They swarm around me like flies, all hoping to win my heart. Perhaps I should use them for target practice. Literally. I can hold them still for you, if you like. How do you know I wouldn't hit you as well? I have confidence in your skills, Your Royal Highness. What do you think of Advisor Grimm? He's a bit scary sometimes, but he's always so nice to me. When I was young, I called him Uncle Grimm. He has been very helpful. Yes, my father made a wise decision when he chose him to be his advisor. Good day, sir. Good day, Your Royal Highness. We've reached the end of the dialogues here. So, we need to do something. We got a few things that we can do. Like a bit of emotes and presents, stuff like that. We'll do a little jig. Impressive. I like someone who knows how to dance. Good day. Good day. More dance. You must dance. Your dancing never ceases to impress me, sir. Fantastic. And a little twirl. We have a good time. Good day, sir. Good day, Royal Highness. We'll give her the flowers. Are these for me? Really? Yes. Of course, Your Royal Highness. Thank you. They're lovely. You're perhaps a more interesting person than I first took you for, sir. Oh, but I realize you have not yet told me your name. My name is Rakir, Your Highness. Then may I call you Rakir, sir? If I may call you Astrid, Your Royal Highness. You may call me Princess. Very well, Princess. What would you do if you ruled this kingdom? Very little. It's not as if there's much to do. I might try to set up trade with other islands. Sounds like a good idea. Thank you. So what's the history of these islands? Well, nothing very exciting ever happened until my father declared war on Exeteria. Why did he do that? Queen Sigrid of Exeteria insulted him. my goodness. And then what happened next? He realized that neither of us have an army. True. We already had that story from earlier. Wild stuff. So why are you so interested in archery? I'm not sure. Even when I was little, archery always fascinated me. I'm quite fond of it myself. It's good to know someone who shares my interests. I'm literally decked out in fantastic archery stuff. We are absolutely in the archery business here. Good day right here. Good day, princess. And there we go again. More times. We give her a present. We got the regular short bow here. Apparently, the magic short bow would be too good, and she wouldn't even accept it. So, here is a present. Is this for me? Really? Yes. Of course, princess. Thank you. It's lovely. The literal worst bow possible. That's fine. I must admit, I'm growing quite fond of you, Rakir. My, could it be that I have succeeded where so many before me have failed, and finally melted the heart of the fair princess? Not yet, my dear. Let us just say you've made it onto the short list. So, my dear, what do you think of Miscellanea? It's a lovely little country. I'm glad you like it. What do you think of your brother? We don't always get along, but I'm sure he's a nice guy at heart. And what a great bard he makes. Oh yes, quite the bard he is. Do you go out into battle often? Not often, no. I sometimes go hunting. I suppose you don't get much opportunity to. Exactly. Perhaps you could take me with you sometime, dear. Hello, dear. Hello, darling. Do the blow kiss, which was released just with this quest. My, aren't you the charmer? Hello, dear. Hello, darling. And then a gold ring. Is this for me? Really? Yes. Princess Astrid, will you marry me? Oh, my dear. I thought you'd never ask. Of course I'll marry you. We'll have to put off the official ceremony till we can find a priest, but you can tell my father that I've agreed to marry you. Amazing. And that's how you do it. Not really, obviously. Not many choices out here in Miscellanea. Hey, King Vargas, Your Majesty. How are you getting on, Rakir? Has my daughter agreed to marry you? She has, Your Majesty. Excellent. Excellent. Grim tells me the population would be glad to have you as ruler. I see no reason to delay your regency any further. Grim, please proceed with the ceremony. Yes, sir. We are gathered here today. Nobody's gathered here today. We should probably gather some people here. To witness the rise of a new hero to the regency of the Kingdom of Miscellanea. To continue the work of our great King Vargas, who is unfortunately no longer able to rule. By the powers invested in me by the Miscellaneous Constitution, I declare thee, Rakir, to be the new regent of this fair kingdom. May you bring success and prosperity to Miscellanea and to all of its people. Is that all? That is it. That is all. I wish you luck as regent. Speak to Grim if you require assistance. That is quest completed. We get 1 quest point. Your Miscellanean subjects will collect resources for you. And then once they exist, there will be a teleport added to the Ring of Wealth. I guess the Ring of, well, later. And also a portrait, which also doesn't exist yet, from Serenity. And this unlocks the Managing Miscellanea thing. Not really a minigame. Just a whole system here, which we can talk to Advisor Grim about. Greetings, Your Royal Highness. How is the kingdom faring? Your subjects are worried about the possibility of war, but they're still happy to work for you. Your current approval rating is 77%. Afraid your subjects have not yet collected anything. This is how your subjects are distributing their effort. Here we get a whole interface here of all sorts of interesting stuff. Once per day, your subjects will take some amount of coins, specifically 10% of the available, up to 50,000 per day. So realistically, you would cap it off at 500,000. Anything after that's just going to let it continue each day. They take your money and do things that you tell them to. You get some herbs, flax, maple logs, coal, fish, or we can just tell everyone to do nothing. In these coffers, they start you off with 10,000 coins, which is fantastic. So we can just take all those. And now, the real reward from the quest is this. You get all these resources, and then you collect with Advisor Grimm here. They haven't collected anything since it's just been a few minutes, and it's a daily kind of situation here. But when you collect, it all just goes to your bank, which we can't use. So, unfortunately, we don't get any resources here. As nice as some of them really would be, piles of extra herbs, maple logs that we could do something with, I guess. Eventually those will be useful for making bows and doing stuff with, but we don't get any of that. But what we do get is this coffer, where we can deposit coins. We had 10,000 coins in here earlier, but we can go all the way to 5 million and close this interface and walk away. This is a storage, effectively. Never planned or intended to be a storage, but it absolutely is for our purposes. So whenever we need to go somewhere where we aren't allowed to have coins, we can plop 5 million right in here. And as long as we don't wait too long, the subjects will not take any money from us, which is pretty cool. There will be times when we're not allowed to have any items whatsoever. And until the coin pouch exists, we need to be able to store the coins here. So luckily this showed up before we got to that point. So now, we can always store up to 5 million coins, which is delightful. The first of many, many storage systems. And as long as it's not a bank, it totally counts. But we're not going to be storing our money in there for the vast majority of time. So that's okay. Instead, we will just continue on here. More stuff. And a very, very big quest. Next time. Goodbye.